Circle, start a private chat with Jordyn.
Hey, bitches.
Oh, hi, Jordyn.
Hi.
Welcome to the Fallout Geometric Edition, where we are your number one source for the fallout of all things reality TV. Today, we are back talking about the Circle US episodes 9 and 10 of season 2. That was really out of order, but you understand what I said anyway. I'm Logan
And
Murphy.
honestly, I'm Jordyn Lagace. Ooh. Let's get into these boring ass episodes.
Yeah, y'all, these are not some very entertaining episodes, if I'm just gonna be frank. Like we don't even have a blocking to talk about today, Jordyn.
I think the next episode of Covering the Circle will be more entertaining.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Let's just say we don't know exactly. I don't know if this will go an hour just because of what we have to talk about.
There's a few things of note to talk about. But before we get started with any of that, if you're watching with us live or after the fact on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, turning on the notification bell, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with all your friends. Tell them the Fallout TV is like the absolute best place to get reality TV content because like we're great. So why aren't you listening to us?
And we're coming for Rob has a podcast his ass.
Oh, not that. I mean, you said it, not me. And if you're listening to us after the fact, wherever fine podcasts can be listened to, make sure you are also liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing with your friends. If they don't want to watch us, they can listen to us literally wherever. It's the most convenient thing. And with that, Jordyn, let's talk about some boring ass episodes. Well, okay, they're not that boring. They're the most boring we've had thus far this season.
For me, it was just not even a blocking. We didn't even get a blocking.
Well, we figured they would probably do some sort of like cliffhanger thing. We got a cliffhanger, Jordyn. It's an actual cliffhanger, but it led straight into episode 11, which we'll talk about later, but like on another episode. But so we start episode 9, and what I didn't understand is they called it a new twist. That's the episode title. Was the twist John? Was that the twist? Because I was confused. Because otherwise there really wasn't like a twist. There's like a complete 180 in someone's attitude and personality. We'll get there, but like there was no twist.
No twists to be had.
So we start.
I want to say it was John. What's the twist?
I wouldn't be surprised. And speaking of John, we start this episode with obviously it's the fallout of the fake double blocking from episode 8.
Right.
So we know that Jack and Lisa aren't blocked, and instead they are now living in the same apartment. We love a 2-bedroom circle apartment.
That's a moment.
It's a moment. And they are now playing together as one catfish profile. And so they see just the profile photo and they're like, well, we need to channel some big dad energy. And I was like, I'm going to use that. I'm like, we love big dad energy.
And it was some big dad energy.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting, Jordyn, so I don't know if they've done this on the Circle before, but they said, oh, we're going to give you a photo and an occupation, and you get to do all of the rest. And I was like, oh, they get to name this guy too. Like, that's where I was kind of caught off guard. I was like, oh, they get to name him too. Like,
I'm confused. Logan, look at your note.
Yeah.
The notes for a second. I'm kind of confused. Okay, so we met John. They say 64. They gave him Morgantown, West Virginia. Full-time, was it full-time psychic, part-time Santa?
Yes.
Why? Okay, yeah, because I'm looking at part-time psychic, full-time psychic.
So breaking the fourth wall, my notes today are a mess. Yeah, so it's full-time psychic, part-time Santa is what he said. But the interesting thing for me in this scenario, they literally gave them the photo and the occupation. Like, they were like, oh, you're a psychic. And then from there, they built the entire profile, like name, age, all of it. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. Okay.
I didn't hate it.
No, not at all.
We'll talk about it, but like, I want to say they did a relatively good job so far.
I don't think they're doing a bad job at all. I actually kind of like both of them a little bit more.
Yeah, I was like, I like how they're going to incorporate the information they knew for their psychic.
Oh, we'll get there. I honestly love the way that they're playing. Like, I think it's really, really smart. But yeah, and then they also decide, Jordyn, that our good friend John is going to be gay.
I mean,
because it makes him more personable.
Okay. They gave him a husband too.
And 3 kids and a grandkid. Like, I was gagged. No, and I just had this like moment of self-reflection where like, even like 10, 15 years ago, that wouldn't have been said like on a like platform like Netflix. So I was kind of just like, that's really cool.
They did the damn thing with that.
I don't like that neither one of them is presumably gay, but I liked like
we didn't like that Jack was grabbing his balls while being Emily either. So like,
I didn't see any ball grabbing in these episodes though,
which was shocking.
Well, he's living with Lisa now. He can't grab his balls in front of Lisa.
I still think he would grab his balls in front of Lisa.
My other favorite part, I just thought about this. So Lisa goes, how old are you? At one point when they're making the profile. And Jack goes, I'm 20. She's like, oh, okay. I'm 42. We're still like, neither one of us is anywhere near this man's 64. Age. I wish they had just combined their ages and made him 62. Like, that would have been cute. That would have been a cute moment.
That would have been a cute moment.
Right. But yeah, so moving away from John for a second, we get a little bit of stuff before the newsfeed update. Delisa and Chloe are both kind of sad about Emily being gone because they were like, Emily was like in their corner, but also like fully Jack. So like, that's a dynamic. And then Lee is sad that Lance didn't come see him because he figured that Lance would go to see River. And then we get to the newsfeed update, and it's 2 catfish videos back to back, and everyone the entire time is like,
what?
Everyone's gagged. Everyone's gagged.
I mean, I was gagged.
You were gagged that everyone was gagged?
I was gagged. Everybody was gagged and so shocked that there were catfishes.
Well, this is the first time this season that they've actually gotten out catfish.
That's
and so I was like,
shady-ass email.
I'm not a shady-ass email.
Look, breaking that fourth wall again, I got a message that said, try not to look tired on calls. What? You shady bitch.
They're listening to you, Jordyn.
Big Brother is always watching.
I love that we always bring up Big Brother, even if it's not Big Brother. So then we get this circle chat moment. and John is there in lurker mode, and everyone immediately is like, oh, go ahead.
What do you think of lurker mode? What do you think
I like it. I like it because they were already in the circle, so I like that they still get to, like, see what's going on.
I don't hate, like, lurker mode doesn't bother me as much as the other
Joker shit.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But the big, like, revolutionary thing, and this started from when Jack was doing his video, Kat instantly is like, oh, so she went to see Chloe. Oh, so she went to see Chloe. She went to see Chloe. Oh my god, she went to go see Chloe. And then when we get to circle chat, she's like, Chloe just straight up, she's like, innocently is saying, oh my god, oh wait, let me try to do the accent. Oh my god, Emily didn't even come to see me. I'm so disappointed. It's not good. It's not good.
Spaka it is. Spaka it is.
Spaka it is. And so Kat's like, Chloe's lying. Chloe's lying. Chloe's a liar. Chloe's lying. Chloe's lying. Drink every time Kat said that Chloe was lying this episode. And then
no, because I would be dead.
Absolutely. And then everyone's piling in like, oh my god, yeah, who did Emily and Lance go see? Who'd they go see? Who'd they go see? And literally Chloe's just sitting there like,
nobody.
Literally nobody. Absolutely nobody. And I'm just, the whole time I'm like, they literally saw each other. And so I'm like, clearly none of them have seen the show, because normally when there's a double blocking, they go see each other.
Come on, Root. Come on.
Like, even if it's not like they come back into the game situation, like, it's still normally like they go see each other.
Do your research, bitches. Do your
Honestly,
research.
I was like, what? And then everyone's basically like grilling Chloe, and Chloe's like, she didn't come see me. I would say something. And the entire time I was like, yeah, she would. Because she literally said that Tara Alicia went to go visit her. So why would she lie now about Emily? Like, none of this made sense to me at all.
You know, I want to say Kat started off well.
Yeah.
Boy, did that turn not so good for her fast.
We will get there very shortly. But yeah, so everyone's like jumping on Chloe, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And then we get a Mitchell and Trevor bonding chat.
Do we want to briefly touch on, before we move into that, like the weird editing situation?
Which part of the weird editing?
Well, just like, I have questions, a lot of questions.
Oh, how it seems like there's important conversations that weren't aired at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this episode made me question some things because previously, if I remember correctly, and if someone corrects me in the chat or in the comments, let me know. I feel like the only time we've only, so up until this point, we've only gotten one chat with the Kardashians together, right?
Yes.
And we've only really gotten, I think one chat with Mitch and Trevor in it.
I want to say yes.
And then all of a sudden in this episode, Mitchell and Trevor are best friends. And Courtney and River are prepared to die on the sword for Chloe.
Yeah, that was what, that's why I wanted to touch on it. Because,
yeah,
I felt like important convos had happened, but, clearly we didn't get to see them.
Yeah, and I mean, that happens with every season of The Circle, I would presume, because there's so many conversations happening and only a a prescribed number of episodes to show it all in.
I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if we go a little bit more episodes.
Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that it's only 13 episodes. And from the sounds of it, it sounds like they were only there for a week and a half. Because at one point, and this may be from episodes 11 and 12, I can't remember, but there's some point in this block of episodes where it's Jack and Lisa talking, and they're like, Lisa's like, I'm finding it hard to be a cat, like, I'm finding hard to catfish as John, and Jack is like, but you haven't had a problem with it the last 9 days?
Yeah.
And so it makes me feel like, because Lisa went in late, Lisa was the first person to go in late.
Right.
So at this point, they've been in for 10 or 11 days, which means this entire season lasted 2 weeks, if that. Like, that's just crazy to me.
They really just went in and filmed.
They truly said 14-day quarantine period when flying and get you right back to the States. Like, I'm just like, if it is filmed in the UK, I still don't know when it's filmed. And they haven't filmed season 3 because they're currently casting for it. So it's not like they had 2 series to film back to back.
I'll play.
I would. I don't think I'd be good, but I would.
I always choose chaos, so I would be great TV. I don't know if I'd be good at the circle, but I'd be great TV.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of this season is questionable for me. It's been good, but it's difficult.
I've enjoyed it for the most part.
It's difficult having this season after watching the Circle UK Series 3. Like, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's where a lot of, and again, I'm going to say, if you haven't watched the Circle UK, go watch it, because it is the original version. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of people seem to think it's not. It is. It is the original version. And it is the superior version.
4 because we know it's going to be good.
Oh, absolutely, we will be covering Series 4. But yeah, I've liked this season a lot. But yes, I agree with you. The editing has been questionable at best. So yeah, so we get these 2 conversations before John comes in. And it's Mitch and Trevor. And I'm just so happy we got a shot of Mitchell in the hot tub. That's all I've been waiting for, personally.
I mean, I was hoping we'd get some ass. You showed that you full-on gave us out with the picture. Like,
they said ass at the start, we're not going to show anything else. And I'm like, damn.
Choose clothing. What is this?
Right?
What is that dating show where you look at your dates naked?
Naked Attraction.
Let's go Naked Attraction this shit.
No, I'd rather not.
I would have preferred some Mitch naked.
Obviously. I
wanted more nudity.
Sure. Yeah, so this chat is basically...
It's not normal TV.
You're not wrong. Yeah, so this chat is basically just... The hashtag ended up being My Beyonce Turned Out to Be Jay-Z, and I was just like, this felt gross to me. I don't know about you, but I'm just like, stop harping on the fact that...
Your Beyonce turned out to be... Pee-wee Herman.
Eminem.
Pee-wee Herman.
Like, if we're going with the musical, like,
I guess.
theme, turned out to be Charlie Puth. I don't know.
Eminem would have looked better as Emily. Eminem would have played Emily better.
Honestly. Yeah, I was just kind of grossed out.
Emily deserved better.
I found her Instagram. She's gorgeous.
She's stunning.
But yeah, it just like the constant, like I kind of turned on Mitch in these 2 episodes, I'm gonna be honest. Only because like the constant talking about, oh my god, I was flirting with a dude. Oh my god, I was flirting with a dude. I'm like, clearly your masculinity is not in check. So like
clearly he was offended.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't need any of this. Like
I feel like Chloe, when she finds out about Trevor, I think she will handle it. She will handle it a hell of a lot better than someone.
And we'll talk about that when we talk about our next episode, talking episodes 11 and 12, because we see her reaction in the preview for the finale.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be like, well done.
Oh, I guess that's a spoiler. I didn't even think about it. Well, oh well. Are you surprised?
It's not.
Are you surprised they make the finale? No.
No. Absolutely not. I'm going to say it now, but there was a time I was worried for Chloe.
We were both worried for Chloe. I think in our last episode we were worried for Chloe.
Yes, but now that we're not knowing what we know now, I'm like, I was stressed for no fucking reason.
Right. Yeah, and so the other chat we get before the introduction of John is Cat, Courtney, and River, the Southern Queens chat. Jordyn, what was this chat?
This was a hot goddamn mess.
Oh, God. I would love to talk to Kat and just be like, where was your mindset? Like, I'm not even necessarily mad. I'm just like, what were you thinking? Because Kat goes, and I guess she didn't know the power dynamics and the relationships, which makes sense.
And also I didn't know the Kardashians was a thing. So I could have easily made that mistake too.
Well, no, we knew it was episode 7, I think it was the first time they called it by that name, but it wasn't an early alliance. This is an alliance that's been brewing for a little bit. And so unfortunately for Kat, she decides to go to 2 of Chloe's closest allies and say, I think Chloe's lying. And the only other entertaining part of this, and I don't know if you clocked it, Jordyn, because I don't know if you're a Bad Girls Club fan, but the way Courtney said,
okay,
I don't understand. I was like, yes, Courtney. Yes,
you know
Courtney.
What I was getting?
Huh?
This felt very Mean Girls.
Yeah, it kind of did.
And then it felt like Regina George, because it was like, see, Regina, I told you. Kat thinks you're fat.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled about how this chat went on all fronts. And we'll get to my thoughts about River specifically. I've turned on River too. I'm not.
River hasn't been my favorite person for a little while, so.
Yeah. But did you get that reference that he made? I don't understand, bitch. Don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. I was like, yes, Chloe. Or no, not Chloe. Yes, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney. So then we get John. John's here, Jordyn. John is here. For some reason, we're bringing in a new player 3 episodes before the finale. And we know how this is going to go. These players never do well in the circle.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about John a lot of our actual thoughts are going to be in our next episode because, like,
Right.
it's the two blockings we get before finale. But everyone's loving John. Trevor can bond with John because they're parents and they love improv. Mitch kind of thinks it's too good to be true. Mitch is kind of the only person that's like, I don't know about you, John. And then everyone kind of jokingly along that line is like, but are you really a psychic? What's in your crystal ball? And I'm like, that's kind of a fun way to go about it. Like, I didn't hate that.
I was honestly, what I found funny about it was, because we're going to get into that conversation, but every single person decided to play along.
Oh my God. Let's just talk about this Geek Chic quiz so we can get to that conversation specifically, because good Lord, that was entertaining. So they do this quiz. Mitch as our eye candy, even though I may not really like him, he looked damn good.
Yes, he did.
Courtney also looked really good. I was like, okay, Courtney, I see you. Courtney's cute. I'm like, I'm on board. Like, I'm a fan. But yeah, so it's Team John, which consists of Trevor, River, and Courtney, and Team Chloe, consisting of Kat and Mitch. The highlights are that Mitch thought that the American flag had 15 stripes, and that there were 7 Toy Story movies. And River thought that there were 100 problems in Jay-Z's song. And the interesting thing for me is he's like, oh my God, this is going to out me. My game's over. Oh my God. And has like an Emily level freak out. And I'm like, like, I would have just played it off as that's not the kind of music I listen to. Like, I obviously knew that there were 99 problems, but like, you could play that off so easily. But instead, he had like a panic and he was like, oh my God, they're going to out me. They know it's not me. Oh my God. And I'm like, huh?
I want to know where the 7 Toy Story movies came from.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But he knew that there were 99 problems and 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. The other big thing is, so there's a sports question. Obviously, John is going to give it to Trevor. And Delisa is like, I don't know anything about sports. And so it's the fun juxtaposition of, because Kat had the question as well. And she was like, oh my God, I know exactly who these people are. And Delisa's like, I think so. I'm scared. This is literally like a game. This is like a game-winning question about basketball. And then she's like, oh my God, we put the same answer. So like, even if they were both wrong, they were still both wrong. But she ended up getting it right. And I was like, for her sake, I was like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I only would have been able to name one of those players, and it's Michael Jordan. Like, I'm a sports person, but I'm not a basketball person.
Okay, so like, I would have gotten, the one that I wouldn't have gotten was the middle one. So like, I knew Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan. Yeah, I didn't know the Scottie Pippen thing. I didn't know.
If I had looked a little bit harder, I probably would have gotten that it was Dennis Rodman, and I would have just been like, I'm not a basketball person. Because, truth be told, basketball is probably my least favorite sport. Like, I watch college basketball, but I don't watch, like, NBA. So, like...
Yeah, and that's the thing with, like, this. People could have been like, oh... Like, even with the Toy Story thing, they could have been like, I'm not an animation fan.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. So Team John ends up winning. And there's just like few conversations before that. So we get a check-in with John and River, or like a first conversation. It's just good vibes. There's I don't know if it was like intentional. Yeah, I don't know if it was intentional, but Jack quotes RuPaul.
That was a lucky thing.
I was like, did you note that? Because I was like, I see you, Jack.
That was a lucky go. That was a lucky guess.
Yeah. We got another check-in with Chloe and Trevor. And it's at this point that Chloe's like, I'm 100%, I'm 110% Trevor's real. So I'm going to tell Trevor how I feel. And I'm just like, oh, Chloe, no. Chloe, no. Chloe, no. And Delisa's like, Chloe, no. Chloe, no. And I just love that the whole time Delisa's like, you're going to hate me. Like, you are going to hate me. And I'm just like, oh. The other thing that I love, and this is like a very subtle thing that I picked up on. So Delisa frequently has been like, for Trevor's game plan. Like, not even referring to it as hers, but she's fully like, for Trevor's game plan. And I love to see that distinction.
She's very, I know my husband.
She has been locked and loaded and has executed her plan since day one. And I love to see it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on board.
I love it.
And then the next thing we get is the Kardashian chat. This is like, I think the second one that we've had with all three of them together. So the boys tell Chloe about their conversation with Kat earlier. And they all kind of agree that now Kat is the target.
You ain't wrong, bitches.
No. And then we get to Jordyn's favorite part of the episode, the cool kids party, where everyone plays along separately but together. And I love how they played it off. They're like, it's not in my realm of abilities. And I was like, that's a really good answer. I was kind of on board with that. Yeah, because
I mean, like, some psychics do. They prefer the tarot or the, like, you know what I mean? Energy. Like reading the auras and energies. So like they played that off pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was just so funny that they all separately decided that they were gonna just fuck with John in this instance.
They were like,
they didn't get any of them right, but yet in their mind they got all of it right. And then even at the end, Jack's like, at least one of them has to be fucking with us, right? It was just like, yes. Like, this is the Jack that I wanted to see.
I also feel like they also handled the other part of that very well.
Mm-hmm.
With their insider information from already being there.
Yeah.
So they executed that part of it as well pretty decently.
Yeah, pulling on like things that only Jack and Lisa would know, playing it off as like psychic abilities. I agree. I absolutely like the way that they're going about it. And this is the Jack that I wanted to see. I think at this point Jack was like, well, I have a second chance, so I'm just gonna have fun sort of situation. And he gets a little bit more strategic when we get to the rankings, but like he felt more fun,
less seriously.
And I love that. And no, Lisa is still just in her own world, but I love her.
I want to meet Lisa.
I do too.
She intrigues me.
The other part I thought that was funny in her goodbye message, she's like, I'll make sure you all meet the real Lance. And I was like, that's cute though. I like that. Did you see there's a video of Lance and Lisa reacting to the circle?
No, I need to see that.
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it. I was like, that's cute.
Oh, maybe we should react or watch it in the next Circle episode.
Totally. I'd be down for that. So then we get one last conversation before the end of this episode, and it's Kat and Chloe. And I noted that at this point, Kat's energy is completely different. Because I think at this point she realized, like, oh, I kind of fucked up. And so she comes in with this, like, she came in with this, like, solemn energy.
Like, yeah, I see where she was like, I done fucked up. I done did fucked up. But, like, choices.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, basically this whole conversation is Kat feeling good about Chloe again, and Chloe saying "fuck you, Kat" is basically where it was at. Which leads us into
Kat.
Yeah. Which leads us into episode 10, Campaigning to Win. We are on campaign trail, Jordyn. Today we are on the campaign trail with this episode. And we start, they're bright and early. They haven't even had coffee. And they get...
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a podium. You get a podium.
I was going to say, you get a podium. You get a podium.
Everybody gets podiums.
And instead of alerts, we get just hail to the chief. And I was like, I don't need this. Like, I know.
Look, I'm Canadian, and this was too patriotic for me.
I'm American, and this was too patriotic for me. I barely celebrate 4th of July. Like...
Lord help us all.
I celebrate because it's a nice day to get drunk, honestly.
Blow some shit up, too.
Oh, I don't like fireworks.
Fair.
So yeah, precisely. They're really bad for the environment.
Those in the chat, let us know what you guys thought of this Democracy Day task.
Are you Democratic? Who are you rooting for? Who would you have voted for to win?
Me.
Oh my god, me too. Shut up.
You know you know who I'm voting for?
Julie Vu.
Julie Vu. Even in a Circle episode, Julie Vu comes up.
Circle episode! Oh, God. Yeah, so they roll them out of bed. They're like, here, have a giant-ass podium. You don't get any coffee, but here, you have to make your first decision of the day. Who do you want to give a campaign gift to? And I'm just like, what?
Why do I have to carry the podium in so early?
Right? I'm like, no. I was on board with Chloe. She was like, Circle, can we do this in like an hour? That was bad.
I want to go back to sleep.
I had the Circle. That I got, but the rest of it fell off. I need to go watch some BB UK so I can just fully get ingratiated in the accent. Like, but yeah, so it ends up being a tie.
Your accent is shit. Absolute shit.
So we end up with a tie between River and Courtney. And so John, for some reason, gets to break the tie. And because he voted for Courtney, he breaks the tie in favor of Courtney. Courtney gets a bouquet that literally doesn't mean anything else. And I'm just like, what was the reason?
To make the apartment prettier.
I guess. And we get some cute early morning chats. Kat and Mitchell.
This early morning task, I was ready to go back to bed.
Didn't Lee take a nap at some point, or is that in the next 2 episodes?
I feel like he did. He was like, no,
I feel like
I'm
he
gonna
did.
Go back to sleep.
Honestly, that would have been me. I'd been like, I need like a...
Why was he napping on the like full made bed?
Yeah, I was like, is that like a... I don't want to be rude. Is that an old person thing? Like sleeping on a fully made bed? Because I feel like my grandma did that.
I feel like
but
I would not do that.
Yeah. Well, so we get a few conversations before the task. Kat and Mitchell are talking. They both feel kind of lost. Mitchell mentions that he, like, thinks everyone's been playing but him. Kat is like, I don't know. I want to make genuine relationships. They kind of just, like, reaffirm their relationship, which is a cute moment. And at this point, Mitch tells Kat that he thinks Courtney is the Joker. And I was like, great. They've caught on. We love to see it, honestly.
Thank God someone caught on.
Honestly. Courtney and Trevor talk, and Courtney's like, should I tell Trevor that Kat's coming after Chloe? And so he does. And so Lisa's like, oh no, but I like Kat, but I like Chloe, obviously.
You know what I find funny about that? Courtney chose chaos.
Courtney woke up and chose violence that morning. And I was on
really
board.
Did.
And then chose bad art later. We'll get there. And then Mitch and John have a conversation. Because Jack and Lisa are like, someone that we should probably connect with is Mitchell. They talk. Mitchell's like, John, brother. I can't do his accent.
I can't do his accent either.
It's a very specific accent. From Conshohocken. No, it's bad.
Really not Conshohocken.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Jack and Lisa are using their prior knowledge here again, which I loved. But Mitch isn't completely buying it, so he starts like questioning John about like his abilities, and then they get like on a relatable thing. And so by the end of this, Mitch is like, cool. So he straight up tells John that he trusts Cat and Trevor and that he doesn't trust Courtney and River. And I was like, you're just gonna say this in your first one-on-one conversation with this guy? Like, that's kind of crazy to me.
Look, Mitchell chose flopping, and so did Cat.
Well, yeah. So then we get this campaign poster challenge. Everyone has to make an anonymous campaign poster for another player. What did you think? Whose did you like? Whose did you not like?
I didn't like any of them.
Yeah, they were all bad.
They were all really bad. Really bad. That being said, my campaign poster probably would have been bad too. So, like, I get it.
I'm just like, my thing was just like, Courtney didn't even draw anything. And he said he's a bad artist, but Chloe was like, this is kind of basic. I was like, yeah,
I expected more from you.
Honestly, the only one worth talking, because everyone was kind of nice.
Chloe chose. What I find funny was Chloe saying it was kind of basic, but in reality, she was like, you suck. Like, I wanted more.
Yeah. They were all, like, nice and cutesy for the most part, except for Trevor's. Trevor decides he's gonna, like, try to call out River a little bit, and that's where we get this curly and calculated moment. And so Lee's like, ooh, someone hates me. And I'm like, why are we celebrating this? Like, I just don't understand.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of liked that Trevor decided, let's
go after River again.
Yeah, let's make an attack.
This isn't the first time.
No, it wasn't.
I'm like, I'm kind of on board. Like, Delisa is playing a great game. Like, she's kind of got everything unlocked.
Delisa's playing a great game, and I kind of did. I kind of like, she's starting, I feel like getting a little bit of a villain at it. And I'm here for it.
Not that I necessarily think she's a villain, but...
No, but I'm here for, like, somebody giving me villain energy.
Yeah. Are you here for some ratings, Jordyn? Because we're at some ratings.
I mean, let's get into it.
Fabulous. So we see a lot of first place placements in this one, which I thought was interesting. So John puts River first. And I understood it based on their conversation, because River was the first person that John talked to. They had a really good connection. There was a RuPaul quote involved. So, like, cool.
Yeah.
River puts Chloe first. No surprise. Chloe puts Trevor first. No surprise.
No surprise.
Trevor puts Mitchell first. Kind of surprised.
I was a little surprised by that one.
I thought it would have... And Delisa even makes the point, like, I don't know. I would put Chloe first, but I don't know if Chloe would put me first, which is ironic because Chloe had literally just put Trevor first.
Always.
So it was kind of funny. So Trevor puts Mitchell first. Mitchell puts Cat first. No surprise. Cat puts Chloe second, and I was just like, oh, honey, no. No. Kourtney puts Trevor
Kat was
third.
Really trying to
rebuild that relationship.
She really was.
And Khloe said no.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
So Kourtney puts Trevor third. River puts Kat fourth. And then with some bottom rankings, John puts Mitchell fifth. Khloe puts Mitchell fifth. Mitchell puts Kourtney fifth. And Kourtney puts Kat fifth. And none of those really surprised me, I guess with the exception of John. But Jack and Lisa talked in their little thing about like, we don't think Mitchell would save John, which is fair.
It is.
And I wasn't mad about it. The other thing I wasn't mad about,
you know what,
was that
Jack can't do
a push-up, and I was just like, I just love. But he can grab his balls, apparently. I just loved him struggling and Lisa fully in her bed in the other room laughing. I was like, this is a great moment.
Honestly, I'm not mad that Lisa and Jack ended up playing together because I find such an interesting dynamic over there.
Mm-hmm. Was it this episode or next episode where they're like, good night, John. Good night, John. Was it 11? I think it was 11.
It was 11.
We'll talk about it again in our next episode. But I love that they were like, good night, John. Good night, John. Like, that was... I like them both a little bit more now. Like, I didn't think I was going to like Jack. And all of a sudden, here I am. Like, he's not my favorite by any means of the imagination, but I kind of like Jack.
I wasn't mad.
Yeah. We get Trevor and Kat checking in. Kat's kind of going to Trevor because she feels lost. The same things we've kind of been hearing all episode.
What I wanted... Did you see on the Netflix's Twitter?
About?
Jack and his... They full-on shade the makeup brand.
No, I didn't see it.
Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up because I think this is hilarious, especially because we talked about what was the makeup brand?
Collection Co.
Yeah. Okay. So they like literally made a like photo. They made a photo.
Honestly, I'm gonna take a hot second to talk about the Circle Netflix social media team. Y'all are on point.
Because they changed their picture to Jack's makeup face, like the head.
I died, Jordyn. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, imagine the editors and like people involved with the Circle for her, because I think they filmed it in like October. They've had to sit on a photo of that mannequin head for like 5 months. Like, that's crazy.
You know, they're taking the opportunity. They're milking that shit. Because
they only have a few episodes left.
Not only do they only have a few episodes left, but that's their fucking photo right now.
Yeah. So while you're pulling that up, Jordyn, should we talk about the ratings results?
Yes, let's talk about the ratings.
But first...
So as you can see, Circle Netflix has...
What is that? No, what is that?
This is their photo!
No, I see the Jack photo with the makeup. What is that? I can't handle this.
They shady ass bitches. That's what they is.
I can't handle this.
For those watching the YouTube version, I am currently about to show the shade of it all. Come on, load.
I'm fucking dead. That is everything. Oh my God.
When I seen this, I was like, let me double check to see if Logan has seen this or anyone else has. Because this...
When was this? Was this today? Oh, that was like a few hours ago. Okay, that makes sense. I took
April 30th. So when I seen it, I was like,
today.
We need to show that shit.
Not that. That's fucking great. Maybe we'll tweet that photo at some point. Yeah, so we get ratings results, Jordyn, and at the bottom of the ratings results is Cat. And her exact response is, "You fucking assholes." And I was like, "Of course I love you, Cat." Not surprised.
Not surprised in the least, especially with the Kardashians.
Yeah. Fifth is Mitchell.
Also not surprised.
Fourth is Courtney. Not surprised.
Also not really surprised.
No, and then third is River. Not surprised. I was surprised. Oh, you were?
I was a little surprised only just because that's Trevor's spot.
Well, it wasn't in the last rankings, and it's not in this one, because our influencers for this round episode blocking this thing are Chloe and Trevor. Chloe comes first again. This is her third time as first place in the rankings. Gag.
I no longer have to worry for my Chloe.
No. And then, so quickly, they run through everybody in the hangout. Chloe is basically like, Courtney and River are my people. And Trevor is like, well, Mitchell and Kat are my people. And so it ends up kind of being this standoff where they talk about, I think they rule out Courtney immediately. I think it's the one that they rule out.
Yeah.
And then she kind of is on board with keeping Mitch as well, because Trevor's like, well, I know he'll keep me, and because he knows how close we are, he'll keep you. Yeah. And so I think for the most part, it comes down to River and Kat, because Chloe is like, I don't know if I can 100% trust River or 110% trust River. Her thing is 110%. And then with Kat, obviously the Southern Queens chat happened, and they both know about it, and so that's kind of the worry. And then we're left on a cliffhanger, but we know who gets eliminated.
You know what?
But they leave us on a cliffhanger.
And you know what? I think we should leave this on a cliffhanger.
I absolutely think we should. Overall, you know what? I'm kind of surprised we filled almost an hour. But this is a good Kiki tonight. Like, I loved it. It's always a good time with you, Jordyn.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't believe, like, one thing I want to say, like, I feel like Circle has gone by so fast. It hasn't been 84 years. Right. No. It hasn't been 84 years.
We're getting two finales next week, Jordyn. We're getting two finales. And a premiere, I think, in like a few hours.
Yes, so we have quite the lineup coming at you.
Yeah.
Logan, when are we are live again tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken.
We are, yeah. So we are gonna be live tomorrow night. We're gonna be talking about Big Brother Australia, which I'm super excited about. We've got We have a lot of thoughts. We committed to 1 day a week with BBAU, and maybe that's a mistake, but we're just gonna go with
it. 1 day a week right now, but like, who knows?
Because it seems like it's Sunday through Wednesday, so we're getting 4 episodes a week, but it premiered on a Monday. We'll talk BBAU tomorrow, and I'm very excited about it.
Same and then we will be back as tonight?
I believe so.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
That's the plan.
10:30 p.m. Eastern sounds right. I don't have the schedule open, but if you follow us on Twitter, you'll be able to see when we go live tomorrow night. And then we will be back either tomorrow or Sunday.
How else you can see when we go live? By turning on those notifications on YouTube.
Yes, absolutely.
So you don't miss a live show.
Absolutely. We'll be back either tomorrow or Sunday. Not really sure when. We'll be back with maybe Monday. Who knows? We'll be talking about the last 2 episodes of The Circle at some point in the next 3 days. That's what I'm going to tell you. There are some vaccine-related things going on with a certain woman in this podcast.
Let's get me fully vaccinated, y'all.
Yes. And as someone who literally had to take a full day break when he got his 2nd dose, I understand. So yeah, we're not entirely sure when we're going to do episodes 11 and 12 of The Circle, but if you follow us on Twitter and turn on the post notifications on here, if you're watching on YouTube, you will know exactly when we are going live next with The Circle. But yes, for sure, we will be back tomorrow night talking about Big Brother Australia, week 1.
Ooh.
A lot going on. And with that,
Circle and chat or broadcast, whatever you just